There's something awesome in there somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know. It was just a warm-up patch. Wasn't very awesome. Let me bring this in. Let me sort myself out. And let's have a look. How are we doing? Let's have a look down at the chat that I've got down here so I can see what on earth you're thinking and feeling about. Good evening. My name's Robin and welcome to Molten Chat. Number 66, I believe. Not really sure what the number refers to because I'm not always counting. But hey, you're very welcome to spend some time with us this evening. We are, I don't know, we just get together to talk about synths and modular, have a bit of a play around, talk about what's going on, have a chat, answer questions, see how we're feeling about the world, music, interaction, creativity, impulsiveness. And happy Easter too along the way. So if you're new to the channel, you're welcome to chill out and relax and see what happens. You're welcome to throw yourself into the chat on whatever platform, because we are playing internationally across multiple platforms. There's usually at least 2 people on Facebook, maybe 1 in Twitch. Twitter, I don't think we've ever had anybody. So if you like your own space, then see if you can find us on Twitter. That would be exciting. Otherwise, most of the action is happening in YouTube, which seems to be inevitable, really. I don't even know why I bother with all these other places, to be honest. I think it's because I paid Restream a subscription or something, and so it feels like I should be seeing it out. I should be using it in order to restream to lots of different platforms at once. And so I am. Heck, I am. Why not? Why not? So let's see who we have. Good evening, everyone. Ken, you're in first. Good man. Corey, hello. Nick, hi. Throat Wobbler Mangrove. Good to have you here. Hello, Canada. Billy Bart is over there. Steve, hi. Ian, hi. Exorb, Steve, hi. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Ken is going to have a lovely time because we're potentially talking about the Disting this evening. Just going to check my levels over there. I seem to be going up and down. That's a good sign. Let me know if it's too quiet and I will swallow my microphone. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what I do with the Disting. I'm not probably going to do a whole lot with the Disting this evening. I mean, we're going to have a poke around at it, sure, but I haven't prepared anything or planning to do a deep dive. I am planning over the next probably couple of weeks to do some serious looking at the Disting. I promised Oz that I would, and so heck, I guess I am. They sent me the XL, just the EX here to play with, and it's just, oh glory, it's just not my thing, and but it's a good and positive experience to get yourself out of your comfort zone and to embrace something which is not where you would usually want to play. And that is what I'm attempting to do. I'm attempting to honestly approach it with an open mind and an open manual, I imagine, in order to see whether I can find its usefulness. Because I mean, it's unquestionably useful. The difficulty I have really is whether I would rather stab myself in the eye with forks than actually interact with it? That is the question that I'm tackling ultimately. And obviously the aim is to show that it is usable, because undoubtedly it is. I have my own biases and my own humps to get over in order to get into it. So that's a plan for that. So I mean, in a sense that I think the way I'm treating it in my head at the moment is that I'm going to make a video about, here's me in the Disting now. So here's a Disting, here's what I'm getting out of it, here's an exploration into it, here's the things I don't quite understand, here's the things I do like about it. I'm going to do a bit of that. And then the plan is to do a live stream interview with Andrew from Expert Sleepers, and let him talk about it, let me ask him questions about it, let him defend himself probably on what, against my crappiness and criticism, perhaps usually unfounded. I mean, it's one of these things where Oz is such an intelligent guy that he is absolutely confident about everything that it does and what its purpose is. And so there really isn't any place for criticism, because it does exactly what it's supposed to. It does. The difficulty is always going to be in my connection with it. It's not in whether it works or not as a thing, because it most certainly does, and does all the things it says that it does. The only difficulty is going to be my failings as a human being in my ability to interact with the intelligence of the machine. That's what it comes down to. So, that's going to turn into an interesting conversation, I think. And then perhaps after that, I'll then do another video of kind of consolidating what I've learnt and hopefully showing the Disting in the best light that I possibly can. I think that's my plan. That's my plan. In many ways, I wish I was on the other side of this plan, but which would mean that I'd already put all the work in, because I haven't done yet. But I will. I'm planning to, with a bit of luck. Yeah, so that's the plan for the Disting. So this evening, when I talked about bringing an algorithm or something, we can absolutely have a look. If we run out of things to talk about or whatever, or we want to do it at a certain point, we can get stuck into it a little bit and just have a play with a few things. I mean, the one thing that I've noticed in reacclimatizing myself with the algorithms again is that things are scattered about the place. There's not one place where it's all effects, or it's all this, or it's all that. There's stuff all over the place. And in many ways, in order to see what it does, you have to set up the conditions under which you need that algorithm. If it's an effect, that's easy. If it's something else, if it's something like some logic or some clever thing that gets around a thing to do a thing, then I don't know how easy it is going to be to show something like that. But again, I'll just have to think about it. I will have to think about it, I suppose. Ken, you like the intro music? Well, God bless you. I wasn't too sure about that, to be honest. See, the intro music came from... I've still got the Bit Buddy plugged in, which is what I did recently. Built the Bit Buddy from Axis Modular. Bring this in a little bit. Not that you can see anything for all the cables, of course. But it's here, right? It's here. And this is... It did this fascinating thing where you can create a melody from gates, from gate outputs, from solid outputs, which I had no idea that you could do. So I've got a bunch of gates routed through my Molten motion meter over here. You can see that? I don't know. Over here. And that's generating this melody. But it wasn't generating a particularly nice melody. Well, I've got it running through a quantizer, but I don't know. That was not resonating with me on this particular occasion. But we could play with that a bit more and rework that a bit more. And it's also a little bit too uniform. So I've got to work out... I've got to do more, essentially, with envelopes. I've got to do more with that. And I'm still trying to work that out. Ultimately. Because it's a funny thing, right? I mean, in modular, it's often said that you always need more VCAs. You can never have enough VCAs. I don't use them hardly ever at all, ever. I use some attenuation. I guess that in some ways is a VCA, but I'm not actually using a VCA to do that necessarily. And I was sort of talking to a few other people about this, like Mylar as well at Synth. You know, most of the sound shaping you do is really with filters. So there's probably an underlying low voltage stuff going on most of the time because you're not using VCAs to shut that down. You're kind of using filters to shut down most of the sound, because otherwise you need to double up on everything. And this is something I think about a lot. The problem with a VCA and a filter, in how in a hardware synthesizer that sort of thing is taken care of, and it never seems to be a problem. But in modular, it's nearly always a problem. It's a problem that your VCA is closing too quick for your filter to do a thing, or your filter is closing everything down so the VCA sort of becomes irrelevant, and you don't ever seem to be following that envelope through in the same way that you would on a synthesizer. It's very odd, and I've not yet gotten to the bottom of it. And envelopes have always been a struggle for me, even when I kind of, fundamentally understood, came to the realization of what it was that they were doing. It's still a bit of a thing. In order to achieve just that regular kind of 303 sound seems difficult. Why would it be difficult? I mean, I can do it without a VCA, which is kind of what I had here already. Hang on, just stand by your bed. But I'm not using a VCA. Funnily enough, I am. No, I'm not. So what's that controlling? I have no idea. Hang on. Now, where's that going? Let's just go straight to the delay. So yeah, I'm not using a VCA in that at all. If I did, well, if I did, I'd have to split the gate output to hit 2 envelopes. Or would that make me feel happy? Let's try it. I think this thing out here. Let's go into the delay. So let's stick that into here instead. And let's take the output of that back to the delay. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I haven't had a look. Can I just go all the way down to the bottom a second? Hello everyone, says Anna. Good to see you. Anyway, let me know if you can't hear me while I'm also patching. What am I doing with this now? I've lost my thread. Okay, now I'm going there. This is going to now. What is this doing? Does anybody know? Oh, that's doing a thing. Okay, right. Now I've got my oct thing here. Let's try to get this so we can see me. I've got my oct thing here, right? Spinning around, doing a thing. That's got a gate which is going to a molt, and this molt is running now 2 envelopes. I've got envelope 2 and envelope 3. Like that. So envelope 3 is running the VCA. Whereas envelope 2 is running the filter. See, and that's perfectly fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've completely aced that. question is, do I need the one on the VCA? Because the filter is kind of doing it already. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But anyway, that sounds alright either way, look at it. Trying really hard to use the disting for things, so at the moment I'm using it for reverb. I just don't know that I like it. I just don't know that I like it. I'm laughing because it's like I spend 2 seconds with a disting and I'm already pissed off. Ah, what's that doing? Oh, anyway, let's stop going around that. Let me go back to saying hello to a few people. Sorry, I probably missed a whole load of conversation on the way, but it doesn't really matter. So Synchrotron has just said the Disting XX is far too useful and the so-called menu diving is a myth. I've just experienced a menu diving right then in real time in front of people, and it's a pain in the arse. It is. I can't quite explain exactly how difficult that makes it. So I mean this will be in my first video anyway, and this is absolutely no disrespect to Oz and Expert Sleepers, but when I first got the Disting out of the box, I plugged it in and thought, all right, let's go and have a look, and I was angry within seconds. It was like, I can't even explain how annoyed I am in trying to achieve anything. Now, I wasn't looking at the manual, I wasn't approaching it in any kind of proper way that's going to help me enjoy the module. And now you're coming at this from, if I was coming at this from a point of view where I saw the Disting as a module that I wanted and purchased it, I would definitely approach it differently. I would put in the time and I would try to learn it bit by bit, and that's what I hope I am going to do. But because it got sent to me, because it just got sent to me, I have a much more cavalier attitude to it, so I plug it in and just try to have a bit of a go. And so with that approach, it just drives you completely nuts almost straight away, and you forget why on earth you thought it was a good idea to have it. And it's that bump that I've got to get over. It's that mindset and approach to it that I've got to change. Otherwise I'm going to have a very unhappy time, because I know, and everybody knows, it's a useful module, but unless you can use it, it doesn't matter how useful it is. If it doesn't make you happy, then it's the fact that it has gold inside of it makes no difference. So that is the question. And for some people, it's glorious. It's fantastic. They understand everything. For me, I find that I don't know what that does, and then I do know what it does, and then it doesn't do that, and then does it do that, and then I've pressed it by accident, and I seem to be, I'm in another thing, and I don't know why I'm in another thing, and I don't know how to get back out to the thing that I was in. Of course, if I memorize the manual and I know that you have to hold it for a certain amount of time, or you have to double tap it, or you have to hold it and turn it, or press both of them at once, or something, then of course that would be fine. But I don't currently have that knowledge in my head. And so without that, it is just the biggest pain in the ass that was ever invented. Why would I put myself through this is the question that I'm asking myself a lot at the moment. But, I like Oz, and I'd really like to help with the whole Disting thing. And I think I'm the sort of customer that they're not reaching. And I think that I can be helpful in that. And I want to be helpful in enabling people to get into modules that they didn't think perhaps they could. So that is the intention, yeah? But can you tell that this is difficult for me? Difficult for me. And I hope you appreciate the fact that the effort that I'm going to put into all of this. A myth. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Hi Inky, how you doing? Hi Synth Samurai. Good to see you. Simon, another Simon. Culture of Ghosts. Yes. Yeah, okay. Matt, good to see you. Yeah, it is. The Disting is great for, I guess I need a, yes. I mean, I don't mean to, hey, I've got to hold everything back so I don't ruin the video that I'm doing. No, not at all. I mean, I did at one point think I might print out the cheat sheet for it, but then I hadn't got around to that. So I can't remember what all the algorithms are. But, I mean, I bought one very, very early on. Do I have my 4 knocking around in my pile of crap here at the moment? Or did I leave it somewhere else? I thought I brought it over here. Oh, there it is. So yeah, this is my 4, and I bought this as one of my early modules when I first started in Eurorack, simply because it had lots of interesting things in it. But really, what I used the sample and hold, because I didn't have a sample and hold, in order to look at the Krell patch and randomization and things like that. So I used it for that. Excuse me. I used it as either an ES1 or an ES2, whatever it is that allowed you to do DC or AC coupling from an audio interface. And that really, really melted my brain, because the ES1 was essentially a capacitor sort of bridging a connection, which smoothed it out so that you could do, was it taking AC down to DC? Something like that. I can't quite remember. But, you know, a very, very physical component-based analog thing. And I could not wrap my head around the fact that it was in here as an algorithm. Because my choice was, I could solder capacitors onto patch sockets, or I could run some kind of digital algorithm which would do the same thing. How are they the same? I still cannot understand how that's the same thing, but it worked. It's flipping genius. This is flipping genius. I also noted that in the Sound and Sound review, Will Stokes was it, who did the review, was wondering why, I think that was where I read this, wondering why, you know, all Eurorack doesn't have these sockets, these glow-in-the-dark sockets. And, I mean, I've got a good explanation for that, because he says it's brilliant, it shows everything. Well, you would, as it does, it shows you the ins and outs of things. It's very, very clever, except the fact that things just don't stay in. They don't stay in, they don't grab like a patch socket does. So that's why these are great, but they come with a caveat that you're accidentally going to pull your cables out, because they do not grab on to cables very well. So, you know, pros and cons, plus and minuses. You know, maybe we'll talk about this a bit more. I don't know. What am I going to, it seemed like an interesting thing to put in the title of the chat, but the title of the video. But now we've got down to it. Am I actually going to do a thing? I don't know. I mean, maybe we should look at the high-end level of the Disting EX, rather than at the moment I've got it on dual mode, because that at least I understand to some degree. Yeah, we could just have a fiddle. We could, but let's just have a little bit more chat, and I'm going to pour myself a beer. Now, very, very sadly, I'm assuming I'm live. Well, I must be, because I got chat here. You can see me, right? Hang on. That's not even coming up. Why is that not coming up? I am streaming. Am I talking to myself? Oh, lordy. Hang on. Content. Live. Oh, that says I'm live. That's a good sign. I'd hate to think I was here all by myself and you're just talking to each other. Anyway, I've got to pick up Alfie from work at 11, right, after this, which is a pain in the ass. So I'm on the 0% stuff. I do have a regular beer over there. I might have half off later, but I'm using the Beavertown Laser Crush alcohol free, which is okay. It's not the finest alcohol free I've ever had, I can say. I mean, Ghost Ship I think is the best so far I think I've tasted. This just tastes a little bit like lager and lime, which is, you know, which is not really an IPA. But it's what I have, and it's better than Nout. And oh yeah, and yes. So coming back to the talking about Disting and when I first had it, is that absolutely it's a thing where you can experiment with, and then go and buy the module which does the actual thing that you want it to do, so that you don't have to contend with the interface anymore. You can get a module that does it for real. That seems to be the way that it works. Should it be like that? Should we in fact be buying multiple Distings so that we can have them set to the algorithms that we like to use? Or is it okay to think of it as a practice space, an experimental space, which leads you to buying a real module? I don't know. I don't know how great that is. Anyway, let me scan on down a little bit more. What is the jellyfish thing? All right, the jellyfish thing. This thing, right? Okay. I know this gets more interest than anything else in any of my videos from now on. Now, this was a Kickstarter. It was by a company called Duke Audio. Boo! Bam! And it's just ferro, oh, what's it called? Ferrofluid. There you go. It's iron filings, I think, essentially. It's iron filings of some kind, something like that. Something magnetic, and it responds to audio. You can plug audio in if you like. Or, at the moment, it's using, like, the inbuilt microphone, I think. I can never quite remember which setting. It's a bit like the Disting, really. So, on one setting, it hears everything, reacts to everything. On another one, it reacts just to the bass. That's off. What's the first one? Is that just bass? Is that just bass? Is that more lively? That's probably more lively. Or there's also a setting where it just does its own thing. Is that doing its own thing? I don't know. Or is that one it's doing its own thing? No, that's reset. It all just comes back together. Okay, so that's doing its own thing. Now you can change the sensitivity of it. I'm not sure. It's not doing anything. What level am I on now? Oh, okay, I'm there. So that's doing its own thing now, yeah? No? See, I don't know. I think I've already broken it. Okay, sensitivity. That's a bit more. That's a bit more like it. You can also change the colour or the brightness. Is that the brightness or the colour? Brightness. And then the colour. Ooh. Nice. So Duke, D-O-U-K audio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So okay, that's the bass one. 1, 2, 3. That's the regular one. So that's going to sit up there, and that's going to, I'm going to be asked that question constantly now, forever, in every single video that it appears, I imagine. In my head, I thought it would sit beautifully somehow next to a synth, you know, in some kind of Instagrammable awesomeness that a lot of other people are able to pull off, that I'm really not. So instead, it sits kind of like at the back of a shot, like that, doing its thing, being slightly over bright and distracting, in any other video that I do, and people just ask what that is all the time. But now you know. So there you go. There you go. I thought it might be nice sitting in my little studio, but I'm probably going to not feature it in any videos anymore because it's just too much of a distraction. Sadly. Disting has envelopes. Does it? Yeah, no, I suppose it does. But for... Are they of any use? Disting is brilliant if you always have a computer or similar with you. What you mean in order to look up what algorithm it is? Yeah, you need a manual close by. With the Touch OSC interface, it is great, but it's a faff. Ooh, interesting. You've got 2 Mark IIIs, 2 Mark IVs, and 2 EXs. Oh my goodness. And you still believe that the menu diving is a myth. I mean, what was awesome about the original is, I mean, with the Mark III, of course, I did play with the Mark III before I got the Mark IV. The Mark IV, I think I got the Mark IV just as it came out. I was umming and ahhing about it. But the Mark III, you had to work your way through some quizzical sort of 2-bit binary menu system. You know, a myth. Then with the version 4, you got this thing that scrolled that if you blinked, you missed it. And you couldn't work out how to make it tell you what it was on again. It's like, what are you on again? I don't know how I make you do the thing where you go all the way across and tell me what you are. I have to go away and come back again? Is that what it is? I don't know. Again, it was melting my brain. Great idea. It's just that it was tricky. It was tricky. Tricky. Hello, Mr. Grumpy. Very at home. Yeah, no, Ken, I think that's a very true statement, is that with the Disting, you can sit there one afternoon and just have a browse through the algorithms, have a look at the menu and see, well, I wonder what that does, and try it out. That is also a great feature. Because, I mean, what you mustn't take away is that I think the Disting is terrible. No. I think the Disting is awesome. It has a fantastic amount of potential, a phenomenal amount of algorithms and usefulness and toolness within it. It's just I find them painfully hard to use. So that's my pro and my con. The pro is fantastic stuff inside. Con, I can't get inside. So that's the deal. That's what I'm trying to remedy at the moment. Anyone recommend them transparent patch cables to Robin yet? What transparent patch cables? Transparent patch cables? I mean, I've got plenty of glowing ones that light up type cables, like this one here. This is a really long one. I don't remember where it came from. Is it written on it? No. But this one... it's good. It's good. It's purple. Don't know why it's purple. What should it be? Oh, it's because it's audio rate. Let's bring it back down. It should go a little bit more red and blue. There we go, red and blue. Lovely. I find them sort of good and bad. Good because I like the lighty uppy bit. Bad because they're kind of a little bit rigid. So they kind of end up sticking out a lot. Whereas I kind of like the fallen nest approach. You know, the cascadingness of these sorts of patch cables. I mean, when I borrowed the Erica synth bullfrogs for the workshop I did just before Synth East, it came with a whole load of these really nice braided cables. So I kind of kept back more than I should have done. So I'm really enjoying using those. And also they're quite shallow because I need that in order to put the lid back on here, which is why I can't use some patch cables that I have, like the Hoser ones are too tall ultimately. But these are also quite shallow, so that can work quite well. But as I say, the braided ones are probably my favourite, and then these noodles from Create Audio aren't too bad either. It's what I tend to be using. So what are you talking about? Transparent ones? I mean, I've got some transparent glow ones that have transparent ends, but they're just kind of full of electronics, and they just don't look quite as smart, I think. Get the Disting out, says Synchrotron. Sounds like it's going to be your night, mate. How can you get annoyed with a Disting? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Don't want to read the manual. Don't want to read the manual. Yeah, it's always user error. There's nothing, as I say, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Disting at all. Sorry, I'm very behind myself on the chat, so I'm having a conversation with myself 10 minutes ago. Yeah, well, I mean, somebody mentioned there the screen. I mean, it's remarkable, really, the fact that there is... Screen's gone away again. Come back, screen. Thank you. Is that the screen is very tricky to read on the EX, which you can't see, I don't imagine. Almost do not knock your beer over, sir. So here, see that little screen? You can't read it. Well, you can. Pardon me, but you have to be this close, and I can't be that close because of my glasses. I have to be about this close, which makes it very small. And some bits you can read, some bits you can't. I mean, why does that not do anything? I mean, it does. It is probably doing something, but it doesn't say that it's doing anything. Whereas that tends to do something, but that's now moves off. Why is that not on a parameter? It's now checking other algorithms. I don't want it to do that. I want it to be part of the thing. See, that's now size. I don't know why it wasn't before. It was something. Anyway, what am I saying? So yeah, you've got this screen, right? But you can buy a bigger OLED screen, and the X has got the firmware built into it in order to be able to run another screen. So it's almost as if expert sleepers know that the screen's really small, and so here's a bigger screen. It feels like it's a little bit self-defeating. So anyway, so I've looked into the little screen. In fact, yeah, I've got bits turning up for it. So part of my video, I hope, is going to be building the little screen for it, the bigger screen for it rather. I don't want to use that to do that. I want to use something else. I'm going to get in here. Because as soon as I mentioned the fact that I was going to be looking at this, lots of people said, oh, you really need to get the larger screen, which again makes me think, why does it have such a small screen that nobody can read? So from Thonk, I got during the week in here. Ooh, I've now got two open ends. It didn't go very well. I've got this. So this is the PCB. I mean, there's not much to it, to be fair. It's just some holes there that go to some pads here. And this is what allows you to mount an OLED screen. So you buy an OLED screen that then mounts a bracket on here on the surface mount bits that you plug that into. That then goes to a bunch of pins that you stick out the back. The pins then go with pin headers onto the back of the EX, and then you can see everything on a larger screen. And apparently that revolutionized the whole experience, and I'm definitely into the idea that the experience might be revolutionized. So that's good. So I'm going to do that. Now, I couldn't find anyone who'd done a video on making it. I saw plenty of videos on people who had made it and gone, look, it's great, it works, as opposed to actually showing you how you put it together. So I'm going to do a video on putting that together because I think that might be useful. And, you know, in my usual no idea what I'm doing sort of way. So that'll be quite good fun. The other thing, oh, a load of stickers in there. That's nice, isn't it? Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Whatever you do, don't lose it. Who's that fella? Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the other thing I got is this, which is the MIDI breakout for it, because it's got things like a massive piano sound in it, but in order to play it, you've got to get an expander to give you MIDI in, which kind of feels like another flaw. Why doesn't it have MIDI to start with? Well, I mean, I guess it does, because there's an expander available for it. I don't know. Oh, maybe it was an afterthought. Maybe it's like all CV, all analog, and then oh no, it can do MIDI, in which case let's build a thing for it. Or maybe because it only works with some of the I don't know. Interesting that that's a thing that you can get. So I've got that as well, so I'll be able to look into the Spitfire Labs samples and all that kind of stuff in there, which I don't currently understand. But maybe we'll have a look at that in a minute. I'm still just talking to myself. I mean, yeah, I have to do at least an hour of talking before we actually do anything action-wise. Hi, HR. Hi, Thomas. Yeah, syncing to stuff. Yeah. Converting between booklet to euro, that kind of thing's all very good. Sorry, again, I'm echoing my conversation from 20 minutes ago. Printed and laminated a cheat sheet. Yeah, but there's like 14 pages. Apparently there's a phone app, isn't there? I'll have to look that up, actually. I think there is. Hi, Ape. Disting, disgusting. It stinks. Jack sockets, no-go area. Still, always was. Okay, good comment. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, I'm back to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to skip to the end of the chat, and I'm sorry if I've missed important questions. I just don't want to get behind ourselves the entire time. You really should blow the dust off the reel-to-reel. Yes, I should. I totally agree. Absolutely, I should do that, and I see it every day, and every day I look at it and go, I really must do something with that. I have lots to do. Now, I mean, that's something I can talk about briefly, which is that I don't know if you're aware. Did I announce it? Yeah, I sort of did on my Molten Monthly. Is that I left Gear News shortly after Syntheast last month. So I kind of got to the end of the month really and decided that no, that's enough. I've done enough. It was like 8 years or something I did. And that seemed like plenty. Got to the point where it just wasn't really working out for me anymore, and so I decided to take some positive action and to move on into something else. And it's been quite remarkable. Just trying to remember exactly why I started to talk about this. I think I've remembered now. It's been quite remarkable how that's affected my work over the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's been like a massive release of tension that I feel I've been holding. It's like I've been gritting my teeth for a long, long time, and it's that realization that you didn't realize quite how stressed and tense you were, and until it's gone, and then you go, "Good Lord, is this what I could have been feeling like all this time?" And that's not to say at all that Gear News is awful. No, not in the slightest. They're a great bunch of people. It's a great situation. It just hasn't been resonating with me for quite some time, and that's been difficult to navigate. But yeah, I've held in there for as long as I possibly could. But stepping away from something can be an immensely positive step, I think, and it certainly has been for me. Not financially, I have to say. I've struggled to pay myself this month, and I don't know what I'm going to do next month. But that aside, it's been enormously freeing. And it's interesting how, like, in January, I made like 4 or 5 videos, about 1 a week I'm averaging. Whereas in March, I've done like 15. I've done like 15 videos. So you can see immediately that there's a massive difference between how much energy I can put into content creation now that I've left Gear News behind. Now unfortunately I can't afford to fill all my time with making videos. It's just not possible, because I need to still put bread on the table and that kind of thing. So what am I saying? So what I'm saying is that what I've found over the last few weeks is that I've been able to get into some of the things which are piled up on my desk, which I haven't been able to get through. And what I'm trying to get to say is that hopefully over the next couple of months, I'll be able to clear a bit more of the backlog. You know, these poor manufacturers who have sent me things and said, yeah, would you mind looking at my modules? Which I've gone, yeah, I'd love to. That'd be fantastic. And I haven't done. And that's awful, really awful. And I need to get through those modules and those synthesizers and those bits and pieces so that I can do them justice and make a nice video on them so that people can see what these things are, and I can have a go at explaining them and showing people what these things can do and give them my opinion on them. You know, that would be great, and I've got a lot of that to do. And once I've through a bit more of that, I can then do some of the nicer things in my own space. It's not that I'm obligated to make videos for other people, but not as such, but I am, because they've sent me a thing, and so that does create an obligation, absolutely. And also I've bought things that I would like to build and stuff. Anyway, what I mean to say is that if I can get through a lot more of the backlog which is weighing on my mind, then I'll be able to start doing some more of the interesting videos that reflect what I want to be doing. That makes sense. So stuff with the reel-to-reel. I've got a whole box of old reels, tape reel that my dad gave me, that was his dad's, I think, that could have all sorts of stuff on it. And I've got this great idea just to put it on and to play along with it. Just have it playing and play along with it and see what happens. You know, I think that would be great. That would be a lot of fun. I've got a fascinating module here from NHO, I think it is. Yes, NOH, beg your pardon, NOH, called The Pianist, which is a multi-voice kind of chord generating sequencer, but I need a whole load of oscillators to run it into. So I want to set that up with a whole bunch of oscillators along with this fella here, which is DivKid's output bus. So a whole bunch of oscillators into the output bus, this running it could be beautiful. We also want to run some stereo strips with the output bus. Do something on that. I've got a couple of these. Run a bunch of that through each other. That would also be great. I want to do that. So I've got no end of interesting things I want to do. I want to dig out the Queen of Pentacles, which is a drum module I got from Endorphins a long time ago. And I never got on with it. It just never seemed to be loud enough. I couldn't seem to work with it. But I'd really like to get that out because you can put your own samples in it. And something I'd like to do is start doing a little bit of that, a little bit of sampling, start building my own libraries for things, you know, stuff like that. I've got no end. Really, really great ideas and great things to do. I've got the new, which I showed you, the Cosmo voice. I want to build that. I've got the ARP 2500 sitting over there that I want to do some stuff on. I've had a great idea about a whole bunch of vintage synths that Electronic Sound Magazine has that I'm going to borrow and try to do videos on. You know, that's an idea that I've had. No end of ideas, no end of content I could be doing, as well as explaining patches, getting into more patches, making some more music, writing an album, collaborating with people, you know. No end. I still want to build the synth library. I still want to, put together educational packages. I want to ship Eurorack to all sorts of people who want to play with Eurorack. I've got a game I want to design. So yeah. So thanks, Ian. Yes, for the reminder about the reel-to-reel, and do some more of that. You know, I've got that album I want to transfer to tape to see what that sounds like. you know, I'm quite excited. And again, I kind of reflect on the jettisoning of gear news has just really released my brain to think about other things, which is great. Really, really feels very, very positive, if penniless. So there you go. There's a chunk of stuff. Someone keeps doing some hand pink waving. With MIDI, you can have a quad braids or plaits. Yeah, I mean that's what I understood into that. So I think MIDI going in would be good. But surely you can do single note CV. That's something I wanted to look at. I mean, I might have to look up the manual. Or maybe you can tell me from the crowd how do I put it into regular mode, and how do I play sounds from it? There you go. That's the question. Definitely want info on app. Hi Thomas. Did you play Bullfrog with kids? Yeah, I did. I did workshops in Norwich at the Norwich Science Festival, and I ran 2 workshops back to back with about 20 kids in each, running on the Bullfrogs. Unless you mean my kids, in which case, yeah, I practiced my whole workshop on Nancy, bless her, who had a nice time, I seem to think. And as far as I know, it went across really well. As far as I know. Seemed to. So that was fun. Pardon me. Hi, James. Jim, even, apparently. More regular content helps the YouTube algorithms, I've heard. Yeah, I mean, possibly can, but, you know, in having all of these videos, I haven't noticed a massive increase in anything in particular. I mean, the videos themselves are still getting roughly the same views, but then if there's more of them, then ultimately that equates to more views, I suppose. The Pianist, yes, indeed. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, at least, see, this is the thing. The demo video is awesome. I love the demo video. Having plugged it in and just having a quick play with it, I'm going, how on earth did they make it sound nice? Because I'm just getting terrible things. But that's to do with your sound sources. It's about sorting out your sound sources. And it's all CV. It's not as even if you can come out with MIDI chords. So I've got to find 4 oscillators, which I do have. That's not a problem. But having that all together at one time in one case is not something that I have right now. But I will get to it. Is there an extender module for that Pianist? I think there is. But, you know, one step at a time. The Disting has a chord algorithm and a multi-sample algorithm. Yeah, I'd like to do some sampling into the Disting too. You know, I would like to get to the point where I am sampling synthesizers like the Deccar's Dream, things like that, and pumping that into there and then using it as a sample source. But I don't know yet quite how I would use that in modular, because I'm not very familiar with using more than monophonic lines, if you know what I mean. I mean, there is the chord pilot, which is not within reach at the moment, which is a nobular module, which I've looked at but not got under the skin of yet, which is something that I want to do, and that generates MIDI chords, and so that could be very interesting for that sort of thing. Yes, I've just got sort of in my head, I'm trying to work through what is it that I need to do first before I get onto those, is always the thing. Sorry, just amusing myself. What was I saying? No, I've completely lost it. Yeah, so using the auto sample feature on this, I think could be very interesting. I could build a whole load of stuff. Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking that I've got a certain amount of backlog that I need to get through is before I allow my brain to open up to too many other things I want to start doing. A lot of kits to build as well, and that's been going all right. The new format for the DIY that I've been using, which is a little bit more rough and ready, has been okay. You know, that's been all right. It takes a tiny bit of setup to start with, and there's a tiny bit of fear involved in, is it running, is it capturing, that kind of thing. But other than that, that's worked quite well. And also I can't quite decide whether the bits of soldering I do that just sort of run, whether I should be putting background music on or not, or whether I should be speeding them up or not. But again, that eats into the time I'm trying not to spend on all the editing of that. But I found in the couple of builds I have done, there's been all this stuff at the end that I've had to do anyway, which in a bit more of a normal video. Like with the Bit Buddy, I got into all sorts of trouble with things I didn't quite understand. That resulted in quite a long video at the end. But it's been good because I've got a lot of kits to work through. I mean, including some really great stuff like a pinky, for instance. Got a pinky to build. No, it's not even called a pinky. It's called a plinky. See how much I know. I've got a plinky to build, which is this impossible to understand strange synthesizer thing. So that's really, really great. I've got this massive sequencer that Steve gave me to build, which is a huge project. I've got that Winterbloom filter to build. I've got some stuff from... what's it? I got a thing from Panda Modular I want to do, and I also want to get through. I want to do a video on the particles now that I almost certainly 70% understand it. I've got a whole MIDI drone things, MIDI sync, Ableton Live sync boxes and things to do. Woo! Feeling really generally quite excited about it. I've also got a Mellow Dice that's just turned up. I've got a review for Sound on Sound, so that's going on. Got the new Batumi in here with the new potty expander. Doing a review of that for Sound on Sound. The Octone as well, doing a review for Sound on Sound. Lots to do, tons and tons to do. I'm quite really excited about it. The downside being is that this week, well, other than it also being Easter, so I've got a busy week this week, right? So tomorrow, I'm spending the whole day playing Twilight Imperium with a couple of mates because you have to. It's important. It's part of my lifestyle, and it has to be done. But it's a bank holiday Monday as well, so you know, no one's gonna be working anyway. But I've got a whole day. I'm playing as Winu, and I'm going to get to Mechatol Rex in 2 moves, and I'm going to dominate from there. That's the plan. I'm going to send in my flagship every time someone gets anywhere near me and just blow the shit out of them. That's the plan. So Alan and Tim, you are in trouble because I have a plan. This is the first time I think I've played Twilight with a plan. But that's mainly because the Winu race, that's all they can do. All they do is they have to take Mechatol Rex, which is the center planet in this awesome space adventure game. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to dominate, and I'm going to be flipping awesome. So expect news of a win from me tomorrow, and also expect lots of Instagram photographs of little plastic bits of stuff, little plastic spaceships fighting each other. So that's tomorrow. And then, as I say, this is the Easter holidays. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm taking my 3 kids snowboarding, but in the exotic location of the Norwich Snow Centre, which is just, you know, a piece of rug stapled to the side of a hill. And this is Norfolk, you know, it's not even a big hill. So that's going to be fun. We've never been before, but I thought, heck, let's do something crazy and exciting for some of the day. So we're going to do that for 3 days. Then on Thursday, after I've finished falling on my arse down some hill, I've got to zoom off to Bristol to be part of the Rack Records launch party that Steve and Gaz are putting together. on the Thursday night. So I've got a raw over there with me modular, which means I've got to come up with something as well. I've got to think about that. I've got to come up with some sounds, shoot myself over there, be part of that. It's feeling very serious, I have to say, at the moment. Far more serious than Synth East ever felt serious. Because the idea is that we're doing sort of like a tag team performance where two people start and then somebody slides in and then somebody slides out, and it continues round and continues round, and it sounds absolutely fascinating, and I am terrified about the whole experience, but heck, I'm gonna grit my teeth and go for it. So that's Thursday night, and then I'm home on Friday, got to go out in the evening for something or other, and then Saturday and Sunday, Monday we're out camping. Because it's April, right? It's sunny. So April, camping in the middle of a field somewhere over the weekend. And then I think I might finally be able to do some work. And for that, I need to do a heck of a lot of writing in order to earn some money for the month. So I'm not likely to be producing any videos this month at all, really. Perhaps when we get towards the end of the month. But so I've got a shed load of stuff to do. Holiday stuff and writing stuff. So yeah, so that's this week. That's this week. Matt asked, what's the coolest module you'd never figure out? Well, that's easy. Probably beads, marbles. Most things by Mutable Instruments I can't figure out. Most things by Make Noise I can't figure out. Morphogeny, I have no idea. And then the Instruo stuff. So basically, all of the cool modules I find really, really difficult. Like the Mojave I've got here from Qubit. Can I work that out? No, I keep plugging things into it, and I still don't get what it is that I'm supposed to get out of it. And that's another one of those that I'm going to have to sit down and do a proper video of, because I've had it a long time now, and it's long overdue, and I need to get under its skin. I need to put the time in. But can I understand it? I hope so. I hope so. Really, I do. I am a bit pathetic sometimes, I think. Anyway. Thanks, Bart. That's really nice. No, I don't go to Synth Anatomy. I'm now having to use Synth Anatomy as my source of Molten Music Monthly news. Oh. So Nick says, right, that you can get dual whatsits in here. Algorithm, ping pong. There's a phaser, bit crusher, deck delay, HP, low P, a dual AR, compressor, momp, euro, clock, random, quantized triggers, ES1, ES2, pitch, frequency, tuner, clock, MIDI, crossfade, dual sample and hold, dual quantizer, dual Euclid noise, quantizer 2, WAV, dual WAV, dual Z, MIDI multi wave oscilloscope. Really? What does that look like? Oh. I'm a disaster. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't go in there. It goes in here. Hey, look at that. It's a little, look at that. How lovely. You can't see any of this, of course, but I've just found an oscilloscope. That's very exciting. So, algorithm, oscilloscope, wave, crossfade, wavetable. More of those. Another, and a reverb. Oh, reverbs, chorus. This is painful to watch. I appreciate that. Oh, pulsar VCO. Is that what I want? No. Dual VCO. Oh. I'm just looking at it blankly. So I could plug in the pianist, right? And we can have a look and see what that does, because I find the pianist is really quite interesting. What should I pull out? I've got to fit this in here somewhere. Well, the Mojave, because that's not doing bugger all, is it? That's not doing anything at all. Well, then it'd be nice to put these together. Then I could... No, but does that matter? That doesn't matter, does it? I mean, I could pull out... Am I... I thought I might use the bit, buddy. La-da-da, la-da-da-da-da. There's not quite enough room for that. That would fit. I mean, I could take the disting out. That would fit perfectly, but that's not the point, is it? Yeah. Well, yeah. That was a grab, an opportunity while it presents itself. So let's take all this nonsense out of here. What is it about, really? I mean, the Octone is originally a qubit module. And what I like about it is just how simple it is. I mean, you know, qubits should think to themselves, oh, look, simplicity. You know, that's a really nice idea. You know, to which all of us would go, hooray! Simplicity. We remember that. Okay, so well, this is going to be great and flawless, right? And I know exactly what I'm doing. I've no idea. But now I've also lost my reverb, because my reverb is over there in oh look, was there a room in there? Is there anything else poking out? Oh, over here, look. I've got a spare bit. Because I'm using my reverb in the Tiger over there at the moment. Because I've got really nice reverb. The black one is fantastic. And it's stereo, whereas the Pico DSP, which I'm just plugging in over here, is mono to stereo. Is it? Yeah. But anyway, I like a bit of reverb, so I'm going to just... What are we going to do with that? I don't know. Stop talking like an idiot. Right, turn the thing on. Let's get all of this out of the way. I also want to do a video on percussion, because that's interesting, something that fascinates me, and I'm still discovering and working on, finding all sorts of things about it, finding all sorts of different ways to go. Right, so let's create a little bit of space. So let's take, so what was that, and why was that going in there? So this should be, what? Oh, I was using it as a reverb. That's right. Let me forget about that for the moment. Let's just take that to there, to there. Let's, if I'm going to use 4, if I've got 2 duals, that's going to be 4. So I need a mixer for 4. I can stick it in Veils. Actually, I'm going to stick it in the motion meter over here. Use that as a mixer, because then that'll give me a mono out that I could then put through the reverb. See, this all makes sense. This all makes sense. Put all this to audio. So, does anybody know, for the dual VCO, what the ins and outs are? What do I need? I'm assuming if it's dual, I'm assuming that 3 in, so this is on this side, 3 in. Can you see any of this? Now that's going to be volt per octave in, and this is going to be the output. That's my assumption, right? If I plug that into something over here, ah, 909 kick. What are you doing to me? What is that about? Don't think that's what I wanted. Is that going round? That's going round. Roll rate knob. So this should be a tune. See? I know what I'm doing. I don't need you. So I'm going to take that, plug that in over there. In one, I'm going to, so I'm just going to pull stuff out of here. I'm going to take out there, put that into in two. I'm then going to do, so that's doing a thing at the moment. Take these two out of there. That's doing that, that's doing that. I'm going to take those two out of there. And that's going to give me 3 and 4. And then going to take, even better that one, take out 4 into the DSP, outright into there. There's already something going on. That's exciting. Quite excited. I need another out. I'm going to take that. Put that into there. Okay, you don't need to worry. I'm just doing what I'm doing at the moment. Let's see if I can work this out. So I've now got 4 inputs here. So I'm going to take, I don't know which are which. I don't know which are. This is not going to go right, is it? I don't know enough of what I'm doing. Anyway, that's never stopped me before. So I'm going to take something out of that. I'm going to plug that. Oh, this needs this algorithm thing here. So algorithm. What was this algorithm? N8. So what is this? Algorithm N8. Dual VCO. Give it all the same wavetable. I don't know, I'm assuming. No! Stop it. Right, I think what I need to do is, rather than just fuss around, this has some presets inside. Load. And that seems to be the default, which is just A. So it's quite interesting, I have to say. But obviously, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. that's okay. I'm just sort of exploring a little bit. So the idea of the pianist, my understanding of it is that it is a chord, it's a generator. So you write a chord progression within it, and that's what it does. It plays through those and it kicks it out through these outputs here. Now, there's other things going on, like gates and stuff. I'm not sure what these ones here are doing. I thought I might just run it through a filter first, just to see what happens with that. To see whether I can get it to do something with that. So it might be a little bit, I don't know if it's a bit too quiet out your end. totally awesome. So there, through somebody's recommendation, I've found 4 oscillators within the Disting EX that I'm now routing from the pianist, which is generating this sequence of chords, which is throwing it into here, and it's creating this thing. And I clearly don't fully understand the pianist yet. I've managed to intuit my way to a few things. I'm sure it's doing gates in interesting ways that I can work out. So I could be running the filter more effectively, but as it is, it's doing a thing, and that's really quite nice. I need to get the mix right, so it's not distorting. Properly, so I'm just messing about as ever. Let's do anything, let's have a little That's great, I'm quite pleased with that. Right, so I'm well behind on the chat now, having just spent a lot of time looking at that and enjoying doing that and completely ignoring you. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Anyway. You can tune them down. I wonder how you do that. I wonder if I press something in and turn it. Offset. Offset A and offset B. Course A. Does that mean that this is course? Course B. Oh yeah, for the other one. Down semitones, in which case that's going to mess that whole thing about, isn't it? So I need to go down, if I'm going to go down, I need to go down 12. Yeah. Name that tune. Matt, I know I'd like the Dune board game. I have it. I have both versions, and I've only persuaded people to play the shorter one so far, and it's not as good. It's okay, but it's not quite as good. I'd like to play the proper thing sometime with some people who would be interested in doing it. What? Oh, a gurning thumbnail. Yes, yes. Alright, I'm going to skip again down to the bottom of the messages for the moment. Okay, so just to recap then, I've got the Disting EX Set 2 split into two Disting Mark IVs essentially, each one running the dual VCO algorithm. So you've got two VCOs, two wavetables essentially, and you've got a pitch in, sound out, pitch in, sound out, pitch in, sound out, pitch in, sound out. So four VCOs. I'm sending it chords from the pianist, which I think it's a recognisable song. I can't tell you what it is exactly, but I seem to remember reading in the manual that it was a thing, a movement, a concerto or something. And that's working beautifully. I'm sending it some batumi in order to move the wavetable a little bit, which is quite nice. Ooh. And I So I could, if I was feeling really into it, I could probably clock it. Which probably means I could trigger something else. fascinating television. Anyway, that's enough fiddling with that, I think. So that was a bit of the pianist with the Disting. I've already learnt that I can use dual VCO from there. That's quite fascinating. Lots of things to do in that. Anyway, let's move on. What time is it? See, it's 10 to 10 already. Oh, I've got to remember I have to pick up my kid at 11. So I've definitely got to be out of here before then. But I don't think I'm going to be lasting that long. So there seems to be a lot of confusion as to what the heck is going on in here. There's 4 whole voices, each disting, 2 distings within the EX, each one doing 2 voices each. So I've got 4 voices being controlled by the pianist in some kind of chordal way that I don't yet understand. But they've been good enough to send this to me, so I do intend to look into it to see exactly what it can offer. And it's actually looking like a really great companion to this, because I was thinking I was going to have to create 4 entire voices out of a collection of oscillators and other bits and pieces to put it together. But this, the Disting, showing its worth and its value immediately by being able to solve that situation completely, just like that. That's awesome. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, no idea it could do that. The algorithm is N8. Sounds very avant-garde. Well, it's not intentional. Oh, so algorithms on the EX are now different to those of the original. That's unfortunate. The booklet looking module with the blue knob is a Sunless City transistor cascade filter from LA Circuits. It's a really nice filter. Good. Well, okay, we've got to the bottom of that. Great. So what I wanted to have a look at was just the EX mode by itself. I wonder how I get to that. If I go back here, options, load, save algorithm, help, options, Z function. No, I don't want to do that. I'm sure if I press both of them together, right, does that get me out? Oh, presets, mappings. Yes, I think it does. Presets. Load a preset. No, that doesn't do anything. It's just empty stuff in there. So is that name preset, erase presets, load from card? No, I'm just in some kind of preset place. Algorithms, choose single. Enter dual mode, choose single. I've got Augustus loop, SD multi-sample, SD triggers, wave recorder, multi-switch, looper, dream machine, filter bank, polywave table, granulator, multi-effects. Polyexciter, quad envelope, convolver, chord engine. Ah! See, it's got a chord engine by itself. Microtuner tracker, macro oscillator, resonator, macro oscillator 2, matrix mixer. So let's do the multi-sample. And what I wanted to do is take whatever it is that's making a tune, plug that into an input. Let's say that one. No, that one. No, that one. See, getting random with it, it's probably not the answer. I would say. So that's coming from there. I'm expecting things to light up when things happen, and they're not lighting up at the moment. So whatever it is that's going in there is probably not the answer. But that is just sending its CV from that, which is going round. See if I can get any of this to make any sense. That's not doing anything. That is low strings long. Let's have that. How do I make it make a sound? That's the question. Push V. Is this V? Okay. So if I go to Labs Choir, drum kit. I don't want drum kit, I want choir. Alright. Does anybody know how you get it to make a sound? Or does it have to be via MIDI? Does it have to be via MIDI? Oh, I get an in, get an out. Where's that going? That's going over there, into that, which that's going then out to there, to there. That's that, isn't it? I've no idea. No idea how you get sound out of it. That already sounds awesome. Thank you, Ken. Multi-sample, you have to set the CV gate to be 3 CV 3 gate. Then set folder 1, folder 2 and folder 3 to different samples. What? Do I use a door? Yeah, I use many doors. Thank you. You have to set... What? You have to set what? Presets. Mappings. CV mappings. Input bipolar normal. Attenuator 1. Oh, I thought I'd cottoned on to something then. Oh, there's attenuator 2, 3, 4, 5. Attenuator. What? Input. Oh, I have no clue. I have no clue even what I'm looking at. That's funny. So, no, that doesn't do anything. That changes that. Why would I want to change that? Cool. Max note, min note. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, no, that's not going to work for me tonight. Sorry about that. So what we should probably do is either, I mean, we had some fun there. We did a thing and we used a new module that I haven't looked at before properly, which is good. And that got a thing going. So I'm very pleased with that. Otherwise, no, the Disting EX needs, I can't fiddle my way into it. I knew that. I mean, I did remarkably well with the dual VCO thing, but you know, the least intuitive module on the planet, potentially. You're not going to get in there unless you have the documentation in front of you that tells you what to do. Otherwise, you know, no. Not a clue. Not a Scooby. So, there we go. Skip attenuate is 1 to 7. I think folder 1 is 8. What? 8 what? I'm on 37 now. I don't know what that means. 37, 8. 8 is... 7 is folder. But why would I need a folder? What's that about? And I don't know what that means to have it there selected on the screen. Attack time, decay time. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue what it's trying to tell me. So let's avoid that then. So, well, I mean, that was something. Do I have anything else to tell you really at this point? I don't think I do. Other than I have plenty to do, plenty to get on with. Busy Easter holidays, which is exciting. Lots of great videos to come once I've got through a good chunk of article writing, which I have to do in order to earn some pennies. I'm selecting a sample for that folder. Why do I care about what folder it is? What folder what is? Am I playing a folder? i.e. pianos. Okay. I mean, but all that says on screen is folder. It says 7 folder, input bipolar, norm, 14/volts. It doesn't say pianos. It says folder, bipolar. So I don't know. 10 o'clock, thanks Ian. You're welcome to leave, you know. You can always go. What was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, lots to do. Busy time, that's fine. I like that. But I hope to get onto some more videos. I do have a video to release this week, just because I know I don't have anything else to do, so I've held one back, which is me talking about my first synthesizers and talking to my mum and dad about it, funnily enough. I did a little short one for a guy who wanted a little bit about my first synth for his own web channel, but I've done an expanded version because you know how I like to talk and talk and talk. But it's got all sorts of old music of mine in it, which is exciting, and me running on about synths and stuff. So I'll stick that up next week at some point to give you something to look at. Also, I'd like to just speak a moment about Patreon. Good old Patreon. Oh yeah, we're going on about their Patreon. Join my Patreon, blah blah blah. I'm trying to make better use of it because YouTube is hard work, increasingly hard work, particularly when it comes to adverts and stuff like that. So I've decided now, I have started for the last month or so, is that I've uploaded all of my videos also now to Patreon. And on Patreon, they are completely advert free. So you can watch them on there completely advert free. No breaks, no nothing, no getting in the way. You can just get straight to the content. In order to watch videos ad free, of course, you have to join the Patreon crew. Now you can join as a free member, a free follower. And if you do that, then you can watch the Molten monthlies and the occasional sound demo video completely for free, ad-free on Patreon. You can do that. All the other videos I'll stick on there ad-free are only available to people who actually support me with a couple of dollars a month. Just a couple of dollars. That's all we're after. Just something in order to help chivvy everything along. And if you're able to offer me, you know, a beer every month, a coffee every month, something along those sorts of lines, then you get to see all of the videos that I release, all of them without any adverts at all. You also get access to my Discord server where we can chat about stuff. It's not overwhelmed with people at the moment, but it is a place where I am active and available for chats and conversations and just shooting the shit about stuff. So you can get access to that. I also intend to put up other content like sample sets and extra bits of music and stuff that hasn't gone out officially as a YouTube What's It. And sometimes you'll get videos ahead of YouTube, like for instance my first synth video is up on Patreon right now. You can go and watch it if you join up. So as I say, it doesn't have to cost you anything. You can go there and sign up as a follower, and then you'll get the Molten Music monthly video for free, ad-free, every month. That's the plan with that. But if you want to be a little bit more daring, you can give us a couple of quid and you can watch all of them ad-free. Going forward, that's the plan. So I'm just trying to make better use of that platform, because YouTube and its advert policy is hard work. It's the pits. It really is. And I think it's healthy to have my content on more than one platform, just in case one of them winks out of existence, as it is completely possible to do. So there you go. That'll do. Otherwise, if anyone's coming along to the gig on Thursday, Rack Records at the Cube in Bristol, I will be there. Hopefully, if I can get there all right. And be myself, Steve Davis, Gaz Williams, Nina Richards, and a bunch of other people are also taking part in this modular face-off, modular jam, as part of the launching of Gaz Williams and Steve Davis's Rack Records venture, which is very exciting. I'm so chuffed to be part of it. That's great. It makes me feel like I'm actually making some music, which I wasn't doing this evening. You understand? We were just messing around with something, and I will take this apart. I think I'll try to work out something awesome to take with me. I haven't decided what that is yet. I hoped that the Disting might just offer up something simply awesome, like a great piano sound that I could just play with without having to melt my brain in wondering how on earth I access it. But it hasn't done that, but it may yet do. I also need to get my proper reverb back in there, because I don't actually like the Disting's reverb very much. So that's the plan for that, and I'm going to do a lot more work on the Disting over the next couple of weeks as I try to uncover it, try to work out what the heck it's all about, so that I can then bring that to other non-believers so that they can also experience that. I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I've really got to come up with a good patch for Thursday. Something where people go, oh, wow, that's brilliant. How on earth am I going to do that? I don't know. Oh, well, that's one thing I could do. I have picked up the expander for the Endless. The Blue Cack Endless. It was my favourite module of last year. It grabs a thing and grabs hold of it, and there's an expander for it which allows you to pitch it about. I've picked one of those up. I haven't played with it yet. But maybe that's something, in which case I might then take my instrument input, take a microphone, and I might sing into it, because that would be different. That would certainly bring an element that I don't think anybody else is bringing. But it does require me potentially to sing in tune. Gonna have to think about that. I mean, I could also potentially use a looper in the Disting, probably. There's lots of potential. Corey, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Nick, I understand the idea of selecting folders, I suppose. I just don't understand how that allows me to play anything. Is it not possible for me to select a sound? I don't understand why in the mappings I'm selecting folder. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't need you to explain it to me because I'm going to have to go into the menu to understand it. It's just that currently your explanations just don't relate to anything that I'm seeing on the Disting. That's probably frustrating for you because you know what you're talking about, and I have no clue how to interpret what you're saying into something which allows me to get any sound out of it. I just want to, put some CV in and get a sound of the piano out, and I have no clue how to do that. No clue at all. Folder, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to get out of this. I've got CV mappings, I've got knob mappings, button mappings, MIDI mappings. Why do I want any of those mappings? I just want to get a sound out. Is that not possible? I mean, there's presets, but there's nothing in presets. I don't understand why that even exists as a thing. I mean, obviously, because that's where you save your own presets. But I don't want to be in that. I'm in SD multi-sample. All notes off. Options, all notes off. That's the only thing you've got. I don't understand how I've not got a sound that I can play. Doesn't make sense. Folder. It still says folder, and I can load. Look, high strings long labs. Push V. I'm assuming that's loaded. But how do you then get sound from it? I don't know. I have no clue. I put the tune into something, into 1. There's no output showing. Put it into 2. No output showing. Put it into 3. No. Put it into 4. I did seem to get an output, but it only seemed to be a gate. It didn't be anything more than that. I could try putting it in 5. No. 6. There's no audio output going on. So that's really my question. What do I put CV into in order to get some kind of output? Or is it assuming that I've got MIDI going in, even though I have no MIDI thing attached? I don't know. It's completely mysterious. I could press random things, but I don't know that's going to help me. I don't know what that does. Is it loading it again? I seem to be on now 12 volt punch WAV 3. I don't know why I'm on that when I was on something else a minute ago. Labs choir. Piano tape whirly. Push V. That does the same. That says attack, decay, sustain, release, octave, transpose, fine tune, gate. It's so frustrating. Voice 1, detuning, voice 5, 8 chords. Chord, I could enable a chord. That would be exciting. How do I do that, do you think? Not like that. Like that. Oh no, it's all gone horribly wrong. Oh no! Oh, rats! No, it's not going to get me anywhere. Not going to get me anywhere. Select folder, select sample. I've selected a sample. Doesn't make any difference. Plug cables in. I have. What's the matter with you? Are you not looking? I've plugged the flipping cable in. Doesn't do anything. Cable in. Look, see? I know enough about the Disting to know that an audio output would be glowing, yeah? It would be glowing as an audio output. I've got CV going into there, number 1. Nothing at all. Nothing. Put a gate into 4 and CV into 2. CV into 2, all right. A gate into 4 you want, right? Okay. Cool, yeah. No, that sounds sensible. Let's try that. And wait, look, they got something happen. Something happened. Right, okay, so, all right, stick around for another 2 seconds. We might yet get something to happen. Where do I need to go from? This one was going to go into there. Might have cracked it. It was the gate was the problem. Right, good, good. Now I'm again not in the right place. Damn it. No. No, I don't want to be there. No. Let me out. SD sample. Right, cooking on gas now. Bloody hell, back to that again. I'm slightly fascinated now. Alright, that's of no use at all. So there's a possibility now, the slimmest glimmer of hope, that I might actually be able to use this for something. Really enjoying the octane. Really enjoying the octane. I wonder where the piano is. The big piano that's supposed to be in here. Soft piano? No. Damn it. Goes back to that every time you hit the wrong button. that's kind of what I've been after all this time. See, that's nice. Alright, certainly had an idea now. Forget the pianist for the moment. Oops. person. Yeah. No, 11 o'clock I'm thinking about. 10 past 11. He's in Roxham. He's only about 10-15 minutes away. So I still have time. Alright? I will go and get him shortly. So yeah. No, that's been nice. Thanks ever so much to Nick and Synthgrotron. I don't know what's causing the glitch at the moment. I've got probably a dodgy cable in there. Yeah, but thanks guys for helping me through the disting, because I got something out here and I'm immensely pleased with that. And of course you were talking sense. I was just, being that annoying newbie user who doesn't know what he's looking at. But we got there, we found it. The key thing being the gate to give us an output. Because of course I've got to think of it as MIDI really, because it has a very much a MIDI feel to it in that respect. task for myself is to reliably understand the disting enough so that I could use this on Thursday. So I think I'd like to very much, because I would use the surface for this sort of thing. Time check. Leave that wired in and play with it again tomorrow. So there we go. Now I can't play with it tomorrow. I'm playing Twilight Imperium all day. Right, that's my lot. I'm going to have to go. Could be sample rate. Could be. I'll check into it. Good. Anyway, so we brought a whole load of people back. It sort of dipped the viewers and then they came back. Anyway, it's late now. I need to get in the car. I need to go and pick up Alfie. So thank you ever so much for spending time with me. Thank you, as I say, for getting us through the disting to a happy conclusion there. That was exciting. That was very good. Thanks for that. I will... I'll let you know how I get on. Obviously, I'll make a fuss about Thursday. I don't know whether I'll be able to record it or not. But if you're able to get to Rack Records in Bristol, go just go, and it's Gaz and Steve's new record company, Rack Records. Find them, come along on Thursday, and that should be a really good time. And as I say, I'll be posting a video about my first synthesizer and thinking about that this week at some point. Other than that, I've got my head down into sorting out the kids, writing as many articles as I can, preparing for Thursday, and then I've got exciting things to come in the future. So great. Lots of positivity then. Super. I don't think there's anything else I was supposed to say or talk about. It doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, heck, it doesn't matter. So great. Go and have a good week. Happy Easter again, and I will see you soon. Any questions you've got at all about anything that I do or think about, then just throw it at me in any kind of social media or email form. Plenty of details on the website, how you get to things. Good. Right. I will turn on the... which one is it? This one? I will see you later. No, that's not the one. Look, that's the coming up one. Don't want that. Don't want that. Is it this one? No, that's a blank screen. No, that one.